Well, today finally I'm getting a chance to prune my apple trees, and I've got a few little interesting features to point out in my technique here. One a happy one and one not so happy. So what am I going to be using? Well, these loppers, especially the ones that give you a little bit of leverage, can cut through an inch, inch and a half branches. If you want to reach up a little bit and do a slightly bigger branch, then these are good. For tiny small ones, hand pair of pruners, always useful. I use them all the time this time of year, so I've got them right by my side. And my favorite thing of all, because it can deal with some quite large branches, you know, up to 4 or 5 inches across. And I cut roots with this as well. But today I'm pruning the apple tree, and I've got a couple of big branches to cut off, so I'm going to use a new fresh blade. The old blades I save for cutting roots where the soil and stones could easily damage the blade quickly. So good ones for high quality pruning, and for roots and stuff getting rid of, that's fine. Let's get busy. All right, well here I've got a young Honeycrisp apple, a very popular apple in the US at the moment. It had a little bit of a disaster where the soil was soft and it rotated, and I put a temporary stake up. I want to stake it up a little bit better. Our back field here, where our garden abuts to, is full of rabbits, and we get a tremendous amount of damage. So we've had to spiral wrap stuff. However, since the arrival of Lily, our amazing rodent catching, rabbit chasing, deer chasing fox terrier, things haven't been quite so bad. I think I'm going to take this branch out. One thing you've got to be aware of, apples, now they get to about this size, will start producing apples. Last year I got 5 small ones. This year I'm hoping for a few more. The apples are formed on little spurs that come out. They're called fruiting spurs. They're not the growth spurts. They will just produce a bunch of flowers, and the flowers, if they're pollinated, will produce apples on them. I'm going to take this one back out here a little bit because it's running into the hedge. And maybe shorten that one. I'm just going above one of the little branches, about 1/4 of an inch. I always cut a diagonal just so the water can run off, especially if you do a flat cut. You don't want the water sitting there. When you're cutting close to the stem like this, don't go right flush against it. Just come out a little bit and leave a little collar like that. A wonderful thing about rebar is it will go through the rock. Here it goes. Whereas wood will splinter and break. I think we are close to where I want to be. That's it. Now, I've left it tilting back on purpose. The reason being is I want to pull this straight. So a little bit of a power in that will bring the tree back up straight, hopefully. You don't want the tree to rub against the metal, so this keeps it away from it. Pull it through that slot there, and then twist it, and that should lock it. Like so. There we are. Well, this is my big dilemma. This is a tree really I probably should have just pulled up. It was damaged so badly by the rabbits. I don't know if you can see down there. They girdled all around the base of it when it was a tree, maybe 4 inches around, and they stripped off the cambium. All of this has been damaged because of the stripping of the cambium layer. You've got hollow bits where there's a rod inside. And apple trees are amazing plants because they can look absolutely terrible, gnarly, as if they're going to be knocked over by any storm, and yet they can, for decades, still produce fruit. So I'm going to give it a second chance. I'm going to get rid of it. I am going to, and I was looking this morning, this branch here looks pretty healthy. It's connecting to the nice stuff at the back. I'm going to remove the whole of this branch here because in the end, even though it produces fruit up there, it's getting way above my hands and I can't get it. I have to get a ladder to pick it. And looking on this side, I think I'm going to do the same thing with this bigger branch here. All right, must put safety glasses on. I've had my eyes scratched too many times to risk it again. Push it into the hedge, and there she goes. Done. All right. There we are. Oop, there we go. It looks like this one is nice and straight. So I think what I might do as a kind of insurance package is let that one grow, because you'd be surprised how even one little sucker like this can turn into a full-size apple tree. I'm going to show you just how successful that can be. Now, this tree got damaged exactly at the same time. It was a tiny little whip of a tree, and the rabbits had girdled it completely. I don't know if you can see on this side, there's actually, you can see the old cutting. There was a little shoot here, and it's from this little shoot, just as like I was showing you with the Red Delicious apple. And as long as it's above the graft, it still remains, it's a pear, Summer Crisp, which is a delicious pear. Now, it's quite a large, aggressive growing tree. I'm trying to, again, open it up a little bit in there, but it always wants to send this leader up high. So I think all I'm going to do on this tree is just take that central leader to let the sun out. So hopefully we can get some pears on this side. I've got another pear away in the garden that should be able to pollinate this one. Just like so. Quite impressive. And hopefully this year I'd get some pears on it. It's been a long wait. Got to be patient to be a gardener. Well, I've come down to a place where I've kind of espaliered some apples and pear trees, and it has been very successful. It makes picking really very easy. Again, they're semi-dwarf, so they want to get up to about 20 feet, so they're always sending shoots up. I don't know if you can see them. They call them water spouts. It just wants to reach out like a jet of water coming out of the ground. And I'm going to just nip those off. We got one here. I'm going to take that one out and that one out. One there. Now this looks pretty good. I've got lots of flowering, fruiting spurs. Trouble is, once you start cutting nicely, you get a bit carried away. There's one up there I want to, just above where those fruiting spurs are, take that one out. So the final thing I'm going to do, again, which you can do in winter, I'm going to use an all seasons oil, a horticultural oil, that we spray at the top and let it run everywhere. The oil is great at killing insect eggs or insects that are in the bark, and hopefully lead to a more disease-free fruiting season. So technique is to start at the top, especially on the more wrinkly branches. It's not going to affect the hedge behind. I'm letting it run down the bark. I don't know if you can see there, let it run down. Start up, and the spray will run down. Now, talking about spraying for insects, I've got another insect-infested little creature here who needs a Lily! Come on! Oh, I'm only joking, Lily. It was just a joke.